The bass from the speakers pulsed through the luxury club like a heartbeat. The VIP lounge was filled with laughter, champagne glasses clinking, and well-dressed people celebrating life. But Park Jin stood alone near the bar, a glass of whiskey in his hand, untouched. He was surrounded by people, yet completely isolated. Wealth had given him everything except the one thing money couldn't buy, peace. 10 months. It had been 10 months since the divorce. 10 months since he signed those papers and watched Bella walk out of his life. 10 months of regret that ate at him every single day. He had tried to move on. He attended business meetings, closed billion-dollar deals, expanded his empire across 3 continents. But none of it mattered. The mansion felt empty. The bed felt cold. And every night, he lay awake remembering the woman he failed to protect. His mother had insisted he come tonight. Some business associate was celebrating something. Park Jin didn't care. He only came because staying home meant facing his thoughts, and that was a torture he couldn't bear tonight. He lifted the glass to his lips when suddenly, the crowd shifted. A group of women moved aside on the dance floor, and that's when he saw her. Bella. Before we continue, if you love emotional love stories that hit deep, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. Now, back to the story. Park Jin's glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the marble floor. But he didn't hear it. He didn't hear anything except the pounding of his own heart. Bella stood on the dance floor, and she was pregnant. Heavily pregnant. Her belly was round and full, and she glowed under the lights like an angel descended into the wrong place. She wore an elegant emerald green maternity dress that hugged her curves and her growing belly. Her natural hair was styled beautifully. Her skin glowed. Her smile was radiant as she swayed gently to the music, her hands resting protectively on her stomach. Park Jin's mind went blank. Pregnant? The woman his family called infertile, the woman his mother and sisters humiliated, shamed, and convinced him could never give him an heir, was standing right there, carrying a child. Maybe even full term. His chest tightened. His throat closed. He couldn't breathe. How? When? Whose? That last question hit him like a knife to the gut. Across the room, Peter Hamilton, a tall, handsome American businessman, stood with his colleagues. He had flown into Seoul for a tech conference and decided to check out the city's nightlife. He wasn't looking for love. He wasn't looking for anything, really. But then he saw her. Bella. She moved with grace despite being heavily pregnant. There was something about her, confidence, strength, beauty, that pulled him in like gravity. Peter frowned at himself. Why am I attracted to a pregnant woman? It didn't make sense. She was clearly taken. Clearly building a life with someone else. And yet, he couldn't look away. His friend nudged him. Bro, what are you staring at? That woman, Peter said quietly. She's stunning. His friend followed his gaze and laughed. Dude, she's pregnant. I know, Peter said. I don't understand it either. But I can't stop looking at her. Before he could talk himself out of it, Peter walked toward her. Bella was trying to enjoy herself. Her best friend had insisted she come out tonight for a baby celebration gathering at this upscale lounge. She hadn't wanted to. She was tired, swollen, emotional, and due any day now. But her friend reminded her that she had been hiding for months. That she deserved one night to feel beautiful, to celebrate the life growing inside her, and to remember that she was more than the pain Park Jin and his family had put her through. So she came. She put on her best dress, painted her lips, and decided to dance, even if it was just gentle swaying. She had her hands on her belly, smiling at the little kicks from inside, when a deep voice spoke beside her. Excuse me. Bella turned and looked up into the warm brown eyes of a very handsome man. He was tall, well-dressed, and looking at her like she was the only person in the room. I'm sorry to interrupt, Peter said with a charming smile. But I had to tell you, you are the most beautiful pregnant woman I have ever seen. Bella blinked. She wasn't in the mood for this. She opened her mouth to politely dismiss him when, out of the corner of her eye, she saw him. Park Jin. He was standing across the room, staring at her with wide, shocked eyes. Her heart stopped. Then it exploded into a storm of emotions: anger, pain, betrayal, rage. All the memories came flooding back. His mother screaming at her, calling her worthless. His sisters mocking her, saying she was a waste of space in their family. The fake medical reports they shoved in her face, claiming she could never have children. And Park Jin, standing there, silent, weak, doing nothing while they destroyed her. Bella's hands trembled. And then something inside her snapped. She wasn't going to run. She wasn't going to hide. She wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of seeing her broken. She turned back to Peter, and this time, she smiled. A slow, deliberate smile. "Thank you," she said smoothly. "Would you like to dance with me?" Peter's eyes lit up. "I'd be honored." Bella pulled him close, closer than appropriate for a first meeting, and began to sway with him. She rested one hand on his shoulder and kept the other on her belly. She laughed softly at something Peter said, tilting her head back gracefully. But her eyes were on Park Jin. And she smirked. Park Jin felt his entire world collapse. She was dancing with another man. Laughing with him. Touching him. Glowing with a pregnancy that was supposed to be impossible. His fists clenched. Jealousy burned through his veins like acid. Who is he? Is that his child? Did she move on that quickly? Bella looked directly at him and smirked. It wasn't a smile. It was a challenge. A message. I'm over you. I've moved on. And I'm thriving without you. Park Jin's chest heaved. He wanted to march over there, pull her away, demand answers. But he had no right. He had divorced her. He had failed her. He had let his family destroy her. He had lost her. Bella was enjoying this. Watching Park Jin squirm filled her with a bitter satisfaction. She wanted him to feel a fraction of what she had felt. She wanted him to know that she didn't need him. That she had survived. That she was stronger without him. Peter leaned down and whispered, "I don't know what's going on, but that man over there looks like he wants to fight me." Bella laughed softly. "Don't worry about him. He's nobody." Peter grinned. "Well, if nobody makes you smile like that, I think I'm winning." Bella was about to reply when suddenly a warm gush of liquid ran down her legs. She froze. No. No, no, no. She looked down. A puddle was forming at her feet. Her water had just broken. And then the pain hit. A sharp, twisting contraction ripped through her abdomen like a lightning bolt. Bella gasped and doubled over, clutching her stomach. "Ah!" she screamed. The music stopped. The crowd turned. People gasped and pointed. Her water broke. "She's in labor. Someone help her." Peter's eyes went wide. "Oh my God." Okay, don't panic. I got you." He moved to lift her, bending down to scoop her into his arms. But the moment he tried to straighten up, his face twisted in agony. "Ah. Damn it." His left leg buckled. An old sports injury from his college football days, a torn ligament that never fully healed, had just locked up under the strain. Peter stumbled, barely catching himself. No, come on." He tried again, but his leg gave out. He couldn't carry her. Bella gasped in pain, tears streaming down her face. "Please, someone." And then, a strong pair of arms lifted her off the ground. "Park Jin. Don't touch me." Bella screamed, pushing against his chest. "Put me down." But Park Jin ignored her protests. His face was set with determination. "You can hate me later. Right now, I'm getting you to a hospital. I said put me down. Bella sobbed, hitting his shoulder weakly. Another contraction hit, and she screamed. Park Jin's jaw clenched. His arms tightened around her as he carried her toward the exit. People moved aside, staring in shock. Peter limped behind them. Wait. I can help. I just need a second. But Park Jin was already gone, sprinting through the doors with Bella in his arms. Park Jin's driver opened the car door, and he carefully placed Bella in the back seat. He climbed in beside her, barking orders at the driver. Nearest hospital. Now. The car sped off into the Seoul night. Bella was breathing hard, her hands gripping her stomach. Tears streamed down her face. Why are you doing this? She whispered. Why do you care now? Park Jin looked at her, and for the first time in months, his mask cracked. Because even if you hate me, even if I don't deserve it, I can't just leave you in pain. Another contraction hit. Bella screamed and arched her back. Park Jin panicked. Breathe. Just breathe. I am breathing. Bella shouted. It hurts. The car slowed. Traffic. Heavy, unmoving traffic. The driver cursed. Sir, there's an accident up ahead. The road is completely blocked. Park Jin's eyes widened in horror. No. No, no, no. Find another route. I'm trying, sir, but... Bella screamed again, louder this time. Park Jin's hands were shaking. He pulled out his phone and frantically started searching. How to help a woman in labor. How to reduce labor pain. What to do if you can't get to a hospital. Then he dialed the hospital emergency line and put it on speaker. Emergency services, how can I help you? My ex-wife is in labor in my car, and we're stuck in traffic. She's screaming in pain. I don't know what to do. Okay, sir, stay calm. How far apart are her contractions? Park Jin looked at Bella. How far apart? I don't know. Bella sobbed. They just keep coming. Sir, time the next contraction. In the meantime, help her breathe slowly. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Keep her as calm as possible. Park Jin put the phone on the seat and gently touched Bella's shoulder. Bella, look at me. Look at me. Breathe with me. In and out. Bella shook her head, tears streaming. I can't. Yes, you can, Park Jin said firmly. You're the strongest woman I know. Breathe. She tried. She focused on his voice and breathed. Park Jin loosened his tie and opened the window slightly to let cool air in. Are you too hot? She nodded. He grabbed a bottle of water from the front seat. Drink. Small sips. She took a sip between breaths. He timed the next contraction. For minutes apart, he told the dispatcher. Good. That means you have time, but you need to get her to the hospital as soon as possible. Keep her comfortable. Talk to her. Reassure her. Park Jin nodded, even though the person on the phone couldn't see him. He turned back to Bella, his hand hovering over her back. Can I touch you? To help with the pain? Bella glared at him through her tears. I hate you. I know, Park Jin whispered. But let me help. She didn't say yes. But she didn't say no. He gently placed his hand on her lower back and rubbed in slow circles. Bella closed her eyes. Despite everything, it helped. And as this painful moment unfolds, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Are you watching from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Korea, America, the UK, Canada, or somewhere else? Drop your country in the comments, because this story is about to get even more emotional. Minutes passed. The contractions got closer. The traffic barely moved. And then, the fighting started. I can't believe you're here, Bella said bitterly between breaths. After everything. I know, Park Jin said quietly. Do you? Bella snapped. She turned to him, eyes blazing. Do you know what it's like to be treated like garbage? To be told every single day that you're worthless because you can't give them a child? Park Jin flinched. Your mother told me I was a waste of space. Your sisters said I was cursed. They shoved fake medical reports in my face and made me believe I was broken. Her voice cracked. And you? You just stood there. You let them. I know. You were supposed to protect me. Bella screamed. You were my husband. But you were too weak. Too much of a coward. You were nothing but a mummy's pet billionaire who let his family control him. Her words hit harder than any punch ever could. Park Jin's eyes filled with tears. You're right. Bella blinked. You're absolutely right, Park Jin said, his voice breaking. I was weak. I was a coward. I should have fought for you. I should have stood up to my mother, my sisters, everyone. I should have protected you. He looked at her with raw, desperate pain. But I didn't. And I will regret that for the rest of my life. Bella's lip trembled. She wanted to stay angry, but seeing him break down stirred something painful inside her. I've been so lonely without you, Bella, Park Jin continued, tears streaming down his face. The house feels empty. The money means nothing. I have everything, but I lost the only person who ever truly mattered. Stop, Bella whispered. I'm sorry, Park Jin choked out. I'm so sorry for everything. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know I failed you. But please believe me when I say, I would give anything to go back and choose you. Bella turned away from him, fresh tears falling. Your apology is not accepted. The words were like a dagger. You didn't just fail me, Bella said coldly. Your family traumatized me. They broke me. And you let them. You didn't just lose a wife, Park Jin. You lost the right to even act like you care. Silence filled the car. Then another contraction hit, and Bella screamed. Park Jin immediately moved closer. Breathe, Bella. Breathe through it. She gripped his arm without thinking, squeezing so hard her nails dug into his skin. He didn't pull away. You're doing great, he whispered. You're so strong. The contraction passed. Bella released his arm and slumped back, exhausted. The car finally started moving again. Park Jin kept his hand on her back, rubbing gently. And then, softly, almost under his breath, he started to sing. It was an old Korean lullaby. One his grandmother used to sing to him. Bella's eyes opened. She stared at him, shocked. He kept singing, his voice low and soothing. Despite herself, despite everything, Bella felt her breathing slow. The pain was still there, but his voice, it helped. She closed her eyes and let the tears fall silently. When they finally reached the hospital, Park Jin threw the car door open and scooped Bella into his arms again. He ran through the emergency entrance like a man possessed. Help. She's in labor. Please, someone help her. Nurses rushed over with a wheelchair, but Park Jin didn't let go. He carried her all the way to the labor and delivery wing until the doctors insisted. Sir, you need to let us take her now. Park Jin gently set Bella down on the hospital bed. He stepped back, his hands shaking. Bella grabbed his wrist. He looked down at her, surprised. Don't leave me, she whispered, her voice small and scared. Please. I can't do this alone. Park Jin's heart shattered. He knelt beside the bed and took her hand. I'm not going anywhere. The labor room was bright, sterile, and filled with the sounds of medical equipment beeping. Bella was in agony, gripping Park Jin's hand so hard he thought his bones might break. But he didn't care. You're doing amazing, he told her, over and over. You're so strong, Bella. Just a little more. I can't, she sobbed. Yes, you can, Park Jin said firmly. I know you can. The doctor called out, one more push. Come on, Bella, one more. Bella screamed and pushed with everything she had. And then a baby's cry filled the room. It's a girl, the doctor announced. Bella collapsed back, gasping for air. Tears streamed down her face. But the doctor's voice came again. Wait, there's another one. Bella, you need to push again. Bella's eyes widened. What? Twins, the nurse said, smiling. You're having twins. Park Jin's mouth fell open. Bella gathered her strength and pushed again. Minutes later, another cry joined the first. It's a boy. The room was filled with the sound of two babies crying. The nurses cleaned them, wrapped them in soft blankets, and gently placed them in Bella's arms. Bella looked down at her children and broke into sobs. My babies, she whispered. My beautiful babies. Park Jin stood frozen, staring at the two tiny faces. And then his breath caught. The boy had his eyes. The exact same dark, almond-shaped eyes. The girl had his nose, his chin, the same small birthmark near her ear that Park Jin had. They looked exactly like him. Park Jin's legs gave out. He stumbled back against the wall, his hand over his mouth. They're mine. He looked at Bella, his voice barely a whisper. Bella. She didn't look at him. Bella, those babies. His voice cracked. They look like me. Bella's jaw tightened. Are they mine? Park Jin asked, tears streaming down his face. Please. Tell me. Are they mine? Bella finally looked at him. Her eyes were cold. No. Bella. Even if they were, she said sharply, you lost the right to be their father the moment you signed those divorce papers. Park Jin's face crumpled. Please don't do this. You don't get to be here, Bella said, her voice shaking with emotion. You don't get to act like a concerned father now. Where were you when your family was calling me worthless? Where were you when I needed you most? I was wrong. You were a coward, Bella said. And I will not let my children grow up around the same people who destroyed me. Stay away from us, Park Jin. Park Jin fell to his knees, sobbing. Please, please don't take them from me. But Bella turned away, holding her babies close. The door to the hospital room opened, and Peter limped in, still favoring his injured leg. His face was filled with concern. Bella, he said softly. I'm so sorry I couldn't help you. My leg, it's an old injury. I wanted to carry you, but... It's okay, Bella said gently. Thank you for trying. Peter looked at the twins and smiled. They're beautiful. He hesitated, then stepped closer. Bella, I know this might not be the right time, but... I meant what I said earlier. I would like to help you. To take care of you and your babies. If you'll let me. Bella looked at him, this kind, handsome stranger who barely knew her but was willing to step up. And she smiled sadly. Peter, you're a good man, she said quietly. But I don't need someone to take care of me because they feel sorry for me. I need peace. I need time. And I need the strength to raise my children without being dragged into another man's feelings. Peter nodded slowly, understanding. I respect that. Thank you, Bella said. For everything. Peter gave her one last smile and left the room. Park Jin drove home in silence. His hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles were white. His face was wet with tears that wouldn't stop falling. When he walked through the front door of his family mansion, his mother and sisters were waiting in the living room. Where have you been? His mother demanded. You disappear for hours without a word. Park Jin walked past her. Yeah. I'm talking to you. He stopped in the center of the room. Then, slowly, his legs gave out. He fell to his knees. And he sobbed. Loud, broken, gut-wrenching sobs. His mother and sisters stared in shock. Park Jin, what on earth? Why? Park Jin choked out. Why did you do it? His mother frowned. Do what? Why did you hate her so much? Park Jin screamed, his voice raw. Why did you treat Bella like she was nothing? Why did you use fake medical reports to make me believe she couldn't have children? The room went silent. She just gave birth, Park Jin said, his voice breaking. Tonight. Bella gave birth to twins. A boy and a girl. And they look exactly like me. His mother's face went pale. The woman you called infertile, the woman you humiliated and destroyed, just became the mother of my children. And I wasn't there. I wasn't there because you took her from me. His sisters looked away, guilt flickering across their faces. I should have protected her, Park Jin sobbed. I should have chosen her over all of you. But I was weak. I was a coward. I let you control me. And now I've lost everything. He covered his face with his hands and wept like a child. I've lost the only woman who ever truly loved me. I've lost my children. I've lost my chance to be a father, a husband, a man. His mother opened her mouth, but no words came out. Park Jin looked up at her, his face twisted in agony. I hope you're happy. Because your pride, your cruelty, it destroyed the best thing that ever happened to me. He stood up slowly, wiping his face. And I will spend the rest of my life regretting that I let you. He walked to his room and closed the door. And for the first time in his life, Park Jin understood what it meant to truly lose everything. So tell us, do you think Bella should ever forgive Park Jin? Or should she raise her children alone and let him suffer for what he allowed his family to do to her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who loves deep, emotional love stories. We'll see you in the next one.